everyone, welcome back to my channel. You know what time it is. It's April 1st today, April 3rd as you're watching this, and it's time for the April TBR. If you haven't been here for a while, the past couple months I've been letting my TBR jar choosing my monthly TBRs. I'm not necessarily sticking with them, but I do enjoy the challenge and choosing from those picks for the books that I'm reading during the month. So last month was like my worst month for this challenge. I only read one book from all of the books that I picked out, well, that my TBR picked out, and I'm really trying to boost that number to like 3 maybe for this month. Two things are going to be different for this video. First of all, I'm going to be choosing 7 books, which gives me a bigger variety when it comes to choosing my next read. And also, I'm not going to give myself any vetoes, so like I have to have these books on my list. Previously in the other videos, I would have like one book that I could like choose not to put in my list, but for this video, 7 books, the 7 first books that I picked from this jar will be on my list. Another thing, I try to guess the plot of the books just for fun. I am wrong all the time. It's really just for fun, and when I do read the books, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I had that completely wrong. So we are going to jump into the video with the first book that I'm going to pick out from this. Our first book is going to be The Extraordinaries by T.J. Klune, I think. So I actually got this book for Christmas like 2 years ago from my sister, and I haven't read it yet, but I know that there's like a sequel, maybe even like a 3rd book, which makes me excited. I don't know. This, I think, is a queer story about 2 boys, and I think the boys have superpowers. That's what I think. That's what I've heard. I'm looking forward to reading this. If I read this month, it'll be my first T.J. Klune book. I've seen this one quite sometimes, like on Book Talk, on Bookstagram. This is one of the books I'm adding to my TBR, and fingers crossed I'm going to read it. The second book is going to be One Day in December. See, I knew that was gonna happen. Do I feel like reading a book, like a winter book, in April when it's spring? No, sorry. I'm already cheating at my own rules. Oh god. Okay. The other one is Priory of the Orange Tree. We'll see if I get to that one.
A few moments later.
No, you know what? I'm not doing Priory of the Orange Tree. I'm sorry. Like, I want to read that book when I want to read that book. I don't want to put it on TBR because I'm too much of a mood reader, and like I would possibly read it during the summer. Right now I just have too much things to focus on a huge world building kind of book, so I just think it's logical to remove it from the pile and read something else. Alright, so instead of Prairie, Things We Never Got Over. So satisfied with that one. Alright, Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. This recently became very popular on Book Talk. I've seen it everywhere. One of my good friends, Desiree, read it recently and loved it. I had no idea, but it's a thick one. I don't know if it's like a romance book or if it's like a fiction book. I'm not entirely sure. I'm in love with this cover, and because of what's written on the cover page here, he's actually not falling for the good girl. I'm gonna say that it's gonna be like a grumpy sunshine kind of thing, which I really enjoy in books. So, oh my god, the girl's name is Naomi. My name is Noemi.
Which is like the French version of Naomi, I guess.
That's kind of exciting. Yeah, I got this book not too long ago, maybe a week or 2 ago, and I've been wanting to read it. The 3rd book is going to be like manifesting romance books. Brave! I think that's the vampire type romance in the YA section, and the cover looks exactly like Twilight covers. Interesting. How do I feel about this? I don't know. I've had this book on my shelves for almost a year. It's very popular, but sometimes not for the good reasons. So like, I've seen some people really enjoy it, say that it's just a very entertaining book, and then I've heard some people say that it's horrible, that it's not worth your time, that it's awful. So, you know, I'll be the judge of that myself for my own opinions and everything. Like, I'll read it someday and decide if I like it or not. So this, I believe this is vampires, maybe in a high school. It's definitely a romance. And at first, like when I got this, I thought this was adult and not YA, because some people said like there's no plot, there's no like good writing, there's just romance, and I was like, okay, I'm imagining like just very over dramatic romance kind of thing. I'm just seeing Twilight with this. I haven't read the books, so I can't judge the books, but I've seen the movies and I don't like them, and that's kind of what I'm getting for the vibe. And maybe that is because the cover just really resembles Twilight. I'm kind of really curious though. I kind of really want to read it just to see what it is and then decide if I'm going forward with the series or not, because I've heard that the series gets better and that this one's not the best. But yeah, vampires, high school, drama, romance is what I'm guessing for this one. Number 4, In Deeper Waters. I actually read this in March, so this one's not gonna count. I'm gonna throw away this little paper because I did read the book. So furthermore, I'm confused. I don't know what book this is. I'll go look for the book, and if I don't find it, we'll pick another one. Oh yes, I know which one it is. Okay, let's go grab it. This is Furthermore by Tahira Mafi. This is the author that wrote Shatter Me, This Woven Kingdom, A Very Large Expansive Sea. This is her middle grade duology fantasy, and the reason why I bought this book quite some time ago actually is the cover. Ever since I saw it when it came out years ago, I just thought the cover was one of the most beautiful covers out there, and I just knew I wanted it. And then I found it at the thrift store, which my thrift store sucks for books. They don't have a lot of books. Very happy that I found that at the thrift store when I did, and now I'm very happy that I finally picked it out of my TBR jar. And looking at the cover, there's like a measuring tape, there's a book, there's definitely something magical is gonna happen with this. Do I have any idea what kind of magic is gonna happen with this? No. There's light bulbs, there's like a door that looks magical, there's a tree made out of like paper planes. I'm very confused, but this cover seems very promising. My guesses for this: magical, maybe something to do with like sewing, because in like crafting, there's like an egg. It's a house in the shape of an egg. I'm kind of very intrigued about this, so hopefully you'll see me reading it very soon. This is number 5, Second First Impressions. Yes, I was manifesting a romance book, and this is perfect. I think it's like, no, I'm not gonna try to guess now. I'm gonna guess when I have the book in hand. So Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. Sally is the author that wrote The Hating Game, which I read years ago. I remember liking it. I don't remember what it's about. This came out last year. I got it because I liked the color of the cover. It's a cute little purple, blue, indigo, I don't know. This could be a second chance romance because it says Second First Impressions. I'm sensing that they're gonna meet for a second time, you know? That's kind of what I'm gathering. A second chance romance. And I think it's like the kind of romance where there's little to no spice, which is fine. I do enjoy the spice sometimes, but I do also like to have a clean little romance from time to time. I actually haven't heard many things about this book. I feel like The Hating Game kind of overshadows Sally's other books. I also own her other book, 99% Mine. I haven't read that one, but who talks about it? Like, I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's a good book, but because of The Hating Game, her other books kind of don't get talked about. So I think I'm really gonna try and read this, and if I love it, just give it the love it deserves, because Sally Thorne didn't only write The Hating Game, she also wrote at least 2 more books that I know of. Number 6, Tokyo Ever After. Ooh, I'm excited for that one. Tokyo Ever After by Emiko Jean. Actually unboxed this on camera like a month ago, and I was really looking forward to reading it because the sequel is coming soon, I think. There's also a bunch of people on Bookstagram that I trust with their book reviews that really like this, so you know, I'm looking forward to it. I kind of think it's a fantasy, but at the same time, it could be like not a fantasy, but a story based on a fairy tale, but like in a non-fantasy setting. Which fairy tale though, I don't really know. It has the Reese Witherspoon book. Usually she has pretty good picks for books. I think it's a fairy tale retelling, not a fantasy, set in Tokyo, maybe with like school, boarding school. The girl has a crown, prom queen? I don't know. Enough talking about this. I don't really know what else to say. So, and our last book. Must Love Books. This is probably the book in my list that I am most excited for. Must Love Books by Shauna Robinson. I saw this book at the bookstore and I had no idea what it was about. Never saw it before. I was just drawn to it. This is a literary fiction cartoon cover. We all love romance cartoon covers, but what about literary fiction cartoon covers? Must love books. It's a debut. Obviously, I'm gonna guess that there's gonna be books involved. Maybe the girl has a strong connection to books for like personal reasons. Maybe somebody that they lost loved books, and now she's really trying to like build her surroundings with people who love books, and like they must love books. I don't know, but I am excited for this one. Really excited. Alrighty guys, those are all the books that my TBR picked for me to read in April. Obviously, I'm gonna read other things. I'm not limiting myself to that pile. And my goal is to read at least 3 of them this month. Obviously, it'd be nice if I could read all of them. I'll try. But if I can read 3, I think that's gonna be pretty. Also, I feel kind of off today. If this video is kind of off, that's why. I've been really tired working on exams, projects, everything you can think of, so I'm a little bit tired. If this video kind of felt off, that's why. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I picked out today. I'd love to know what you thought about them. No spoilers. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!